Hey yo, it's me, it's RVE. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? By that I just probably mean Dinesh again. But you know, the Heelcast is back, and we've got a very special episode. Again, it's that dynamic duo from last week, but it's a much more special episode this time around because the man with me, my man Goldberg, was on national television, primetime TV, Wednesday night, hanging out in the front row of AEW Dynamite. So we got a special perspective this week. Goldberg, what's up, my man?
What's up, man? I'm glad I get to do this show with you.
Man, I'm excited, dude. We didn't even, before the call started, we didn't really get into too much about this. So I'm going to hear about your live front row experience from Dynamite, live on the air with all of our listeners. And this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I know the fan has been clamoring for, another show by just me and you. So exactly. He got what he wanted. Yeah.
And who's not tuning in for this? I mean, most of everyone that's ever listened to the show, other than Dinesh, Larkin, and us listening to it again. But we're gonna get the audience back at some point. We bounce back. We bounce back harder than Kobe Bryant used to dribble the ball.
No, it's a special show because today, like you said, yes, I went to an AEW show, and I'm obviously one of the most negative people about them, so I have actually some generous things to say today, surprisingly.
That is crazy. I felt like everyone on AEW got booed, at least by one person Wednesday night, and that person had to be you, except I felt like Dan Lambert had to have gotten a huge pop from you.
Yeah, I thought he cut a hell of a promo. I know you agree with me. It's just, if he was hitting all the marks that I think of the current state of wrestling.
Yeah, he did. For me too, he really did, to be honest with you. I mean, I take wrestling for what it's worth today, but I do miss the old days, and I actually agree with the majority of what he said, although I don't think AEW sucks. I actually do love AEW, despite some of my criticisms for it. But we'll get into Dan Lambert and ATT here soon, and Dustin Poirier going to beat Conor McGregor's ass again tomorrow. I will be ordering that shit. But we got some news, we got some Impact, we don't have Hurls, but we got Hurls with us in spirit, and then at the end we're going to have you just fucking tell us all about Dynamite live from that front row, baby.
Sounds good.
All right, my man. So before that, we hop into the news, of course, we like to give our boys a plug out. Check out our man, Andre Corbeil. You can find the Heelcast on Andre's page. And also check out my man, Larkin. Larkin, my boy, our boy. Like I said, man, I honestly, I feel like Larkin and Andre Corbeil are literally the two best in the business at what they do, and I'm glad to call them both friends. I've got a close relationship with Larkin. I speak to the man more, but definitely two people that I'm glad to be on board with. So check them out. Larkin, Official Andre.
Nice. I got the goosebumps.
I know, right? So, Larkin and Lingerie. All right, man. I thought we were going to have like a dead news week, and then it turned out there was a shitload of news that I forgot about. So keep them a little bit brief, but there's quite a bit. First one, Sanjay Dutt, former X Division champion with Impact, former GFW and Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact Wrestling wrestler, who was either an agent or producer or something with WWE, left WWE, and took a producer role. And I don't know if he's going to be like an agent or whatever with AEW All Elite Wrestling. Goldberg, any thoughts on that?
No, because I'm sure we won't see his face on camera. I mean, he's obviously not as big of a name as like when they signed the Big Show and Mark Henry, but these signings, I mean, I just want to touch on something real quick regarding the Big Show. Like when he signed, didn't it say that in addition to competing in the ring, he'll be an announcer?
Yeah, I feel like they basically signed him as an announcer and kind of said like he will be active wrestling at some point. I think more of like an extreme kind of a part-time, like he'll come out and maybe wrestle for some special occasions. And like I said, I'm expecting Big Show versus Shaq to finally happen, and it'll happen with AEW at some point.
Man, I hate when these guys sign backstage and we never see them, aka Abyss, WWE. Oh, God. Did he deserve one run? Just one run.
He did. He turned down his one run, but...
Great character. Such a good character.
It was. And you know what's crazy, man, is I'm kind of like I'm a massive horror movie fan, but like the Kane, the Undertaker, and Mask Guy characters, I've never been a fan of, but I really, really liked what Abyss did, even though he was kind of like a blatant ripoff of Foley and Kane. I loved it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Sanjay, we'll see how it goes. I mean, he's not signed as a wrestler. I was always a fan of Sanjay as a wrestler. I think if he's an agent, that'll be a good thing, especially for some of the like cruiserweight guys, which, as we both know, is kind of like the whole roster. But I don't know producing-wise how good or what exactly he does, but you know, I assume it's a pretty solid hire for AEW, and congratulations to Sanjay Dutt.
Fair enough.
All right. Now let's see another kind of news story that broke. So Moose, and I believe we had already heard that Moose signed with Impact to re-sign for a 2-year deal, but came out that WWE was making a push for Moose. There was talks that it would be for NXT. There was also a rumor that he would have skipped NXT and went straight to Raw or SmackDown. He chose to re-sign with Impact. I don't know that that's the best move for the guy, but it's what he wanted to do and make him happy. I feel like we've been, like, before you were even probably knew what the Heelcast was, back when we had a lot more listeners, when Moose was leaving Ring of Honor, me and the AEW dude actually went on the air and made like a pitch for Moose to come and sign with Impact. I feel like the guy for years now, I feel like he's probably become like the most improved wrestler ever. Because him and now, compared to what he was in ROH, he's so much better. And the guy, for the love of God, give this man the world title. Your thoughts?
Couldn't have said it any better myself. I mean, you've heard my thoughts on Moose, I'm sure. Like, the fact that this guy has not been the champ yet should be a criminal offense. I mean, it's fucking ridiculous. He's got it all. Listen, they missed out on Monty Brown not being the star of the century, and I feel like they're doing the same thing with Moose. Yeah, they both happen to be black, but I mean, Moose has the look. He's learned to talk because he wasn't always great on the mic. He can now cut a mean promo. He's he's tremendous in the ring. Like, how does this guy not have the title, and how did he lose? RVE, tell me how he lost to Rich Swann. Please explain that one to me.
They needed a face to wrestle Kenny Omega instead of a heel.
Nah, not buying it. Not buying it. It's just not believable.
No, it's not.
And this may be controversial to what we normally believe on this show, but I think Moose should have hitched his wagons to WWE and signed with them.
In a way, I do too. You know, and also let's keep in mind that Moose is a legitimate badass man who played in the NFL, legitimate athlete. I mean,
right up WWE's alley. That's WWE's guy.
Exactly. Truthfully, who knows how WWE would have handled Moose? You know what I mean? But I think he probably would have made more money.
We've seen how Impact's handled him, and it's not good.
Exactly. I'm saying if they're going to handle you the same way, you may as well go get the exposure and make the more money. But I hope the Moose made the right decision. I'm hoping Impact said we will fucking make you our world champion if you re-sign with us, for the love of God, finally. But he needs to be the one that beats Omega.
And you know what? I guess we'll touch on this when we talk about Impact. Or I know we're going to have a Slammiversary prediction show. I think Sami Callihan's going to beat him.
I'm very in the middle. I kind of think he is, and we're going to do that Slammiversary prediction show next week, which we'll really get into. But if you want to touch on that today, absolutely.
No, that was it. That was my thoughts on it.
I mean, Moose needs to be the guy that beats Omega, but you know,
it should have happened already. He should have beat him when he fought him.
I agree and disagree. I mean, I think, yes, that's the guy that needs to do it, but at the same time, I feel like, but if they're going to keep this thing going, And if it's ever going to go anywhere, the belt needs to stay on Omega.
What thing?
At least, but Lord knows how bad this partnership has failed to really deliver much.
There's no partnership. It's Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. And Private Party and Matt Hardy was there once, and
for a week. Yeah.
So yeah. Speaking of Impact, and I'm gonna have to pull up a thing to read this because it's quite a bit. Impact is launching the Impact Insiders YouTube membership. I don't know much, so I'm going to read this fucking thing in detail here. Let's see. They have launched Impact Wrestling has launched the first of its kind fan membership on YouTube. Part fan club and part digital subscription service members of Impact Wrestling Insiders get access to a raft of premium content, brand new shows, and exclusive perks not available anywhere else. Available immediately on their popular YouTube page. There are 2 membership tiers. Level 1 is priced at only 99 cents and gives fans access to fan loyalty badges. Fuck yeah! That identify them as members, exclusive community posts, and each and every Thursday, the promotion's flagship 2-hour episode of Impact. I guess that's a way to get more viewers on Impact. You're only paying $1, you get a bunch of shit, and you can still watch Impact. That might help them with their ratings. Let's see. Members of the second level, dubbed the Impact Insider, the ultimate get all the above plus access to much more exclusive content, including new originals featuring the Good Brothers, Josh Alexander, Sami Callihan, D'Lo Brown, every pay-per-view in history, access to the Big 4 pay-per-view events, including Slammiversary, just 30 days after they take place. Exclusive merchandise offers, exclusive live chats, and Impact with Impact wrestlers and more. I don't know that I saw a price on there. Maybe we'll see here. Let's see. It's only $5 a month. That kind of, in a way, kind of shoots them in the foot with pay-per-view buys. It's like, if you pay $5 instead of paying the fucking $40 charge to watch it live, within 30 days you can watch it again. But I don't know if that means Impact Plus might be going. Your thoughts on it?
It all sounds very complicated.
It does. It makes me wonder what's going to happen to Impact Plus, because, you pay, goddamn, what do I pay for Impact Plus? I think like $6 or $8 a month or something.
I know it's not. Yeah, I know it's a good price when I don't notice that I'm paying for it every month.
Right. But the Impact Plus app, the one app got very good internet service, almost a brand new house area I'm in. Impact Plus is like the only app I ever have fucking problems with. So, and it's kind of hard to navigate. It's on Peacock's level as far as quality of the app goes, but it just makes me wonder what's going to happen to the Impact Plus. There's going to be on this new thing at Sami Callihan Uncensored. May or may not be entertaining. May just be Sami being a gross, fucking, dirty person who needs to take a shower. Who knows? But I am sure that Hurls is going to be subscribing. I'm sure there's some other people out there that we know as Impact fan community, because we used to have pretty close ties to a lot of them. I'm sure are going to be digging into this, but I hope it's a success for Impact. That's all I really have to say, and I guess we'll see how things go.
Fair enough.
All right. Let's see. Speaking of UFC and pro wrestling, so CM Punk's second loss from UFC 225 was overturned, goddamn, like years and years later. And the reason why, you would hope, like, okay, well, maybe the dude, I can't remember the guy that beat Punk, his name. Hopefully he was cheating using PEDs or whatever, and that he tested positive for weed, and somehow it came out like 4 years later, which it actually is even more embarrassing for Punk. I actually thought CM Punk won that first round of that fight, but any thoughts?
So it was Mike Jackson.
I thought it was like Mike Johnson or Jackson or something.
Yeah, it was Mike Jackson. Wow, someone is doing fireworks outside my house. You've got to be kidding me.
I hate it. I hate it when you do it before and after.
My goodness, I hate it during. Oh my God. Anyway, Mike Jackson, also known as the 70-year-old that wrestled in Impact.
Was that, no way, that wasn't the same guy, was it?
No, that guy was 70.
I was like, fuck, there's no way that was possible.
Remember that old man that was like walking on the ropes?
I do. Yeah, he walked the ropes. That was impressive.
Sure, it's impressive, but that's not like wrestling.
Right, no, I agree.
I mean, like, the fact that he can balance on the ropes at 70, hell of a job, but give me a break. Anyway, yeah, the guy's name was Mike Jackson, and yeah, I don't know, I don't remember watching the match. The only CM Punk fight I remember watching was the first, I think it was his first fight when he went
against Mickey Gall?
Yeah, Mickey Gall, that was it, yeah. So that's the only one I really remember. I don't remember this one.
I know I ordered that pay-per-view with the second one on there, but this was the time when I used to order every UFC pay-per-view. And I believe it was actually on a pretty damn good card at the time, so it made it that much more. And I rooted for Punk because it was like, he was completely shitting all over WWE, who I hate. And when the pro wrestlers enter MMA, I always it's like, I understand people look at wrestling as it's fake and these guys aren't tough, so it's like I always root for the wrestlers. Even though I guess I'm back to liking pro wrestling more than MMA, but there was a time where I liked MMA way more. But I like to see pro wrestling get some legitimacy, but I was rooting for Punk pretty hard at the time, and it just didn't come through. It was not a good fight, but
yeah, I would say about 12 years ago, I really got into UFC big time. But I don't remember. That was like when Chuck Liddell was running the show.
Right, yeah, and that was the real huge boom period for the UFC.
Exactly. I like Czech Congo and Frank Mears.
Yeah.
Those guys.
And see, I wasn't as big into UFC MMA at that. It's when I kind of started to get into a little bit, but I was kind of like, I was skeptical and didn't want to like it because it was like, these are a bunch of fucking Neanderthal idiots, and this is going to take away from pro wrestling, and I learned so much about the sport and realized it wasn't. I mean, they did kind of have a dumbass fan base at the time, but and then it kind of leveled out, and then the sport got much better competition-wise after that boom period and more established and elite fighters. And now it's just, I feel like Dana White and ESPN and the television deals have kind of really watered down the sport, but anyways, we're just kind of rambling, I guess.
Yeah, let's fucking move on.
Yeah, it just, I wish it would have been something other than weed, because it just makes it look like CM Punk got beat even worse now.
Well, speaking of weed, how about that runner in the Olympics?
I know, isn't that crazy?
I mean, not really. Rules are rules.
Right, I know. I mean, she knew what she was doing.
I'll give her credit. She also owned up to knowing that she knew what she was doing, so.
Yeah, exactly, man. Props to her. I mean, shit, I could care less about weed one way or another.
Yeah.
A lot of people love it. I mean, I'm in Oregon. It's fucking crazy big over here.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, like, it's whether I agree with it or not doesn't really matter because it's kind of the rule, so.
Right. And I guess it doesn't enhance your performance, so, I mean, shit, it makes this girl look even better.
Yeah, it shouldn't even be an issue. But
yeah, no, it's more of a performance, goddamn, regressing drug, I guess.
Sure.
So, anyways,
more rambling, my bad.
No, it's all good, man. Something that wasn't all good, it's the 25th anniversary of the NWO. Literally, just the other day was the 25th anniversary of Hogan dropping the leg on Macho Man. So on Peacock, it is NWO week for Live to Sweet.
What a time to be alive.
On the Broken Skull Sessions comes out on Sunday, but another NWO member that we were excited to watch, Lex Luger, his show, his icon status got pulled on the 4th of July.
Yeah, you know what I wonder? Who makes that decision?
I don't know.
Is that Vince? I mean, could that possibly be Vince's decision? Like one more fuck you to Lex?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's still going to come back. At some point, they're going to air it. Apparently, the reason was they didn't give it enough promotion or lead in. And I think I heard someone got fired for not giving it enough promotion or lead in. But,
oh wow! Oh.
It was the 4th of July. This is the anniversary of him body slamming Yokozuna, which in a way is his highlight in the WWF.
Right.
You know?
I'm really looking forward to it, and whenever they do re-announce it, I'm really interested in watching it. I mean, I don't read books, and I read his autobiography in about 3 days, so.
Right.
Yeah.
I read a lot of the wrestlers' autobiographies, and I'm not a huge reader myself, you know, but those are the things that I really get into
They're great.
And really enjoy.
Yeah, they're great. They're great.
And let's see here. I mean, NWO week, we get the Kevin Nash on the Broken Skulls. I'm a big Nash fan. I'm excited for
Me
it.
too. Yeah.
I know I've watched a couple of shows on there, like they had a NWO table for 3 with Sean Waltman and Scott Hall and DDP.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So, but to me, it's just fucking crazy. It's been 25 years since the NWO. I feel so old.
It's unbelievable.
It doesn't feel like
really
1996 was yesterday. Or 97. I can't remember if it was 96 or 97.
96.
Yeah, it has to be 96 because 7's not going to go into 21 and make 5. But it doesn't seem like it was yesterday, but it doesn't seem like it was 25 years ago either, man.
No.
Crazy how time can fly.
I remember when the year turned 2000, and it does not feel like 21 years ago at all. It really doesn't. It's unbelievable how fast time flies, and to second what you said, I love Kevin Nash, regardless of his idiotic opinions on Twitter.
Yeah, I second that.
But I love him, and he's just so good, man. And I'm really definitely going to watch his Broken Skull session with Stone Cold.
I can't wait. And I don't know if there's a
He's just cool, man. He's just so cool, Kevin Nash, isn't he? He's just so cool.
Very cool.
He is. He is so cool. I mean, when he used to come out, I mean, I know they were all like drunk and shit at the time, but when he used to come out and make his entrance and just walking slowly to the ring and holding his hands up with the 2 sweet sign, he just. And then he started his promo with, you know.
You know, he's a guy that gets shit on so much by the internet wrestling community, like, oh, Nash can't work, Nash tore his quad, like, fuck off.
Quad, the worst joke in the history.
Isn't it? It's terrible. It's so, like, overdone, like, oh, Nash is gonna tear his quad just fucking typing this, like.
So stupid, man.
You're so original and funny, random internet wrestling community member who's never had sex.
Right.
But no, like, I'm a huge fan, man. Again, he was one of those, and, like, literally they banned me off Twitter, so it doesn't matter, but he was one that, like, I always followed, but, in 2020 with all that shit going on, I was like, I gotta stop fucking following this guy because I love him to death, but he's driving me nuts.
Me too.
But, there's a series, and I own a lot of these on DVD. It's called I think it's RF Video. They're called the Kayfabe Commentaries, Timeline Series. And basically they have a wrestler come on and, recap an entire year in WCW or WWF or ECW.
Oh.
And, I have both, they have Kevin Nash do one for, I think, WWF in 95 and then WCW in either 97 or 98. And his are probably the best. He's just very entertaining.
I would imagine he's pretty chill and good conversation.
Absolutely, man. It's really good. They're very entertaining, good stuff. You learn a lot of shit that you might not know. Your boy Luger does one for WWF in 93, which is cool too. I got these on DVDs. So,
what year?
You're a wrestling fan, man.
What year is that from?
What's that?
What year did he do it?
Shit, man. I know it was like, I think these got done anywhere from like 2000.
Oh, okay. So this was before he had the stroke.
Yeah, it was well before that. I mean, these were probably like, I'd say these got done anywhere between like 2007 and 2012.
Bought them?
What's that?
DVD or something? Did you?
I think now you can't get them on DVD. I think RF Video just made them like an on-demand thing only. But cool. I have a bunch of these on DVD. Like I've got the Vince Russo, the Kevin Nash, Lex Luger, Sean Waltman, Bret Hart, Roddy Piper. Basically, I mean, it's the shit, because, the internet wasn't really a big thing back in the 80s, so you didn't know about, why this happened, or why did this person just randomly stop being on TV, and all that, and you get a lot of backstage stories and shit that you never knew about.
Real quick, I don't want to ramble, but I know when I started doing the Heelcast with Hurls, because you weren't really on it as much, I guess, when I first started.
Right.
Did you ever watch XWF?
Did I ever watch what? I'm sorry?
XWF.
Yeah, actually, you on Twitter were the one that got me into watching that, and I bought the DVDs.
Oh, you did buy it?
Yeah.
And you watched it?
I did. It took me a while, because I remember we would kind of keep in contact a little bit about it, and I was like, I got the DVDs, they're sitting in my collection, I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But yeah, man, I did check it out sometime last year, I believe.
Maybe we can talk about that on another show.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Because also, I did reach out to Penzer, and he said he'd love to review it as well, so that would be cool. Yeah,
no doubt, man. We could absolutely do that. And we've, I don't know if you've seen in the text message, we've been wanting to kind of recap some old WWF or WCW or ECW shows here on the Heelcast at times, especially with Peacock access, so.
Right.
One thing we might start doing is just kind of adding, hey, let's recap WrestleMania 5 and fucking throw it on at the end of this week's show or something like that. So, yeah, man, if the fan wants it, the fan will get it.
I loved it, so I would love to talk about it.
For sure, bro. We can do it. I've seen it. I might need to rewatch it again. It's a very short.
Yeah, I don't mind rewatching it either. Refresh my memory a little bit.
Right. All right, my friend. There's one big news story, but I'm actually going to tie it in when we go over Dynamite. So we're just going to talk Impact for a minute, last night's show, and then we are going to hop into Dynamite and let the man do his thing. So last night, TNA, Impact, Wrestling, the week before, man, they had like their all-time lowest rating ever. And apparently it's been because there was like some guide issues or something like that. So I don't know that it's actually confirmed. It just means to be an error, but, I brought this up, and I don't know if you saw our conversation with the fellas, but I kind of ripped Impact and just said, maybe this is what happens when they put on a boring show and have the worst roster they've ever had week after week. But I'm going to, and of course, Hurls being Hurls, we, had our difference of opinions, and Griggs and Hurls thought one way, and me and the AEW CW dude thought another, but I'm going to give props to Impact last night. I thought it was a pretty damn good show. Have you checked it out yet?
So I do know the results. I do follow it on Twitter. So I didn't sit and watch the entire show, but I know what happened, and I know the matches that they announced for Slammiversary. What do you want to do? You want to run through this real quick?
I've got a couple of highlights just to touch on.
That's fine. That's fine.
And I will say, man, Slammiversary, I was kind of thinking, this card is lame, but it's actually, I don't think it's going to be as terrible as I thought, on paper at least. I still think Moose versus Saban, as much as I love both guys, is a waste. But, by no means am I going to pay money for this fucking show, but I would watch it on an illegal stream, I'll say that. I would waste my time on a Saturday to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So, we had the return of Matt Cardona. My assumption is we'll probably get a Zack Ryder versus Kurt Hawkins match at Slammiversary. Deonna Purrazzo retained against that Lady Frost lady, which kind of weird to me because I believe she's working with NWA and also with Impact now. She answered an open challenge.
Boring. Keep going.
So the thing is, as I believe Billy Corgan with NWA refused to keep anyone around that worked for Impact. And if you remember last year, he cut ties with Steiner and Ken Anderson because they were going to come do that TNA reunion show, which kind of sucks we never got. So it's just that's odd to me. But basically, Gail Kim comes out and says that she's going to have a mystery opponent at Slammiversary for Deonna Purrazzo. I was thinking because they're saying, Deonna's the best knockouts champion ever, and she'll prove it. And I was thinking, okay, well, Gail Kim would be the obvious choice here, but Gail she brings it up that Gail's going to be her opponent, and Gail says, no, I'm retired, I have nothing to prove. Just going to throw out a couple predictions here.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, I think she makes the most sense to return. But here's the thing with that, though, is I believe her tag team partner got released, too. And I could see those two coming in as a tag team, and everyone's expecting it to be, Laura Van Ness, Chelsea Green as the opponent, and it's not. And then her and her tag team partner go after Fire and Flavor or whatever. The other two options I could think of would be, actually just one would be Mickie James.
Yes, and I would be very satisfied with that. However, my issue with them is I don't want to see this bullshit where someone comes right in and takes a title. It's been done enough in this company where someone comes right in and gets a title shot. We know we don't have to go through their history of doing that because there's countless examples, and we've talked about it on the show many of times. Enough of that shit. Come in, build an angle, and earn your title shot. I don't want to see it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%.
We're going to see it. Somebody's coming in and getting a title shot.
They're going to come and get the title shot, obviously. Whether they're going to win it or not, that's up for grabs.
Yeah, I hope not. But
I don't feel like defeating Chelsea Green, Laura Van Ness is like cementing this woman as the best Knockouts champion ever. If she were to defeat Mickie James, it's like that gives it a lot more credibility. That said, if it's Mickie James, I hope Mickie wins.
Yeah,
because I agree with everything you just said. I'm like, fuck it.
RV, I'm with you. Because if Mickie comes in, I love Mickie. I'm a huge Mickie James fan. So if she wins, I'm rooting for. I mean, if she's in the match, I'm rooting for her. I don't give a shit. No matter what I just said.
And yeah, exactly, man. It's like I 100% agree with you and fully on board with what you said. But if it's Mickie James, I don't give a shit. Put it on Mickie. So let's see. We had Rosemary and Havoc are the new number one contenders for the Knockouts Fire and Flavor Tag Team Championship.
Boring.
We love Rosemary here. We do. That's I don't know if that match is going on the pay-per-view, but I'm thinking I don't even know who the hell Laura Van Ness or Chelsea Green's tag team partner is, but I feel like I heard they both got released. I could see them signing both, and this is where Laura Van Ness or Chelsea Green, whatever she's going to be called in Impact when she returns, this may be her return spot is more of a, because everyone's expecting her to challenge for that Knockouts championship and interfere at the end of the match. We had Swan and Mac challenge Violent by Design, which led to the Good Brothers coming out and TJP and Falaba. So that's going to be a 4-way tag team title match at Slammiversary. They had one person. You know what, man? They had one person from each match. This was basically the main event of the show, with Carl Anderson getting the win, which makes him look strong and all that to lead into the fight on Moxley Wednesday.
It's not possible to make Carl Anderson look strong anymore. That ship has sailed.
Yeah. The thing though, like they put him over, so it's like he looks hot going into to challenge Moxley for the IWGP Championship or U.S. Championship Wednesday on Dynamite. Not once on Impact did they mention that match was going to happen.
Because they didn't know at the time. Their booking is dumb as shit. They don't know
what they're doing. That is true. I guess you have a solid point.
They have no idea what they're doing because it makes no sense that he would even earn that shot. And who cares? It's not even a fucking AEW title. Who cares?
And then, basically the main event, Callis made it seem like Callahan got arrested for assaulting him, and they never showed Callahan's face, and they did the little video. And then Callahan, they said that it was a setup or whatever, and then, Callahan came out and got the better of Omega. It's funny because Impact was taped, so Kenny Omega looks entirely different Thursday than he did Wednesday because he didn't have the facial hair going on, so it's kind of ironic to me, but that was it. Impact from last night, and honestly, it was a pretty damn entertaining show.
One other thought on this show you call entertaining. What do you make of Big Cass fighting Eddie Edwards?
I haven't seen enough or paid enough attention as to why they're wrestling.
Oh well, that's because there's been nothing.
Okay, I thought maybe I missed something, but
nothing. You can't just throw these matches together just because you got two decent names. Who cares? Nobody's going to care about the match.
And I don't care about the match, and it's kind of sad because I love Eddie. I just don't love this version of Eddie at all.
He's boring. Yeah,
he is. I miss the old babyface Eddie Edwards. It was a fantastic technical wrestler. Mm-hmm. My thoughts on this match are I don't really care. It seems very thrown together, and Big Cass is going to go over.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And I am surprised if I'll be surprised if Big Cass or Zack Ryder don't end up being the person that fucking beats Omega at some point.
I think it's going to be Sammy, but we'll get to that on another show.
Right. That's all for next week. The one thing that did stand out to me the most about Impact was there's still no James Storm. Bring that man back, for fuck's sake.
I'm for bringing back all the TNA originals. So.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I love seeing Petey. I love Petey Williams. We interviewed him on the show. I've always been a fan of his. I love James Storm. James Storm's the guy other than Moose that I want to see beat Kenny Omega. But
yeah, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
Maybe 10 years ago.
He's deserved that title for the last 10, 12 years anyway. So
yeah, it's not going to happen.
All right, man. So AEW's biggest fan in the world other than Jim Cornette actually sat in the front row, paid like over $200 for tickets. Goldberg, you were at fucking Dynamite Wednesday night. I'll go over the results here, and then, man, we've got some questions. There's two news stories to cover with it. I mean, we
have viewer questions from Dinesh, or
we don't. I have viewer questions from me. I'm sure Dinesh could probably type something up, and we'd be like, "Hey, our one listener wants to know." But
we're building now. We got weekly shows coming back, so we're building an audience again.
No doubt, man. Let's see. So we had Cody Rhodes defeating QT Marshall in the strap match. Thank God we got to see Cody Rhodes. You got to see the American icon who ended racism in that goddamn amazing Captain America fucking Revolutionary War suit that he wears. And that awesome neck tattoo that he has in person. I just want to sniff you just for being that close to fucking Cody goddamn Rhodes, the savior of the world. Let's see. We had Sammy attack Sean Spears. Is his name Sean Spears? I always want to call him Sean Stasiak. I don't know why. Don Callis and Omega interrupted by the Dork Order. And then, of course, the Hangman push. The Jim Ross interviewed your two favorites, Ethan Page and Darby Allin. FTR and Wardlow got the win over Hager, Santana, and Ortiz, and Conan fucking belting Wardlow on the back of the head and literally did nothing to him. What else happened on the show? Let me just run it down. Which I cannot wait to talk to you about, the face-to-face with Chris Jericho and MJF and the Genius Fan. Britt Baker message for Nyla Rose with the fucking shot at WWE. Andrade El Idolo's debut, which was very impressive to me.
Good debut. Very good.
The debut of Malachi Tommy in Black, which you missed the commentary's blunder on that, but which was pretty. That's the big shocker. That's the other news story to get into when we get there. The Ricky Starks and Brian Cage thing. I'm sure you were excited as hell for OC and Statlander against Blade and the Bunny. And then, what the fuck else? We had the Dan Lambert promo and then the tag team title match, which I assume was pretty fun to watch in person. But, goddamn, Goldberg, let's hear it, brother. I don't even know where you want to start. But,
I'm just going to start with my main thoughts of what I took away from this show. And my first thought would be, and maybe I should have saved this for the end, but overall, they put on a great show. Like, they put on an entertaining product. Now, does that mean I like their storylines and their booking? Hell no. But as a one night show and going to this event and the crowd being back in an arena, it was a tremendous time. I had fun. I'm drinking, I'm watching wrestling. It was a great time. Having said that, there were some things that happened throughout the night that were just so stupid and not believable. And everybody that was sitting ringside who had a view of this was a little taken back. But I will say one thing. So I'm going to touch on this now. This is what I wanted to tell you. When they have these tag matches and these 6-man matches, whatever, trios matches, whatever you want to call them, you know that there's no rules and everybody's just in the ring at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is every time that there's 2 guys in the ring, do you ever watch and wonder where the other guys are when they're just like, when they're not involved in the match?
A little bit, yeah.
So they are 100% just laying down on the outside of the ring, just laying there, selling anything that they've been hit with, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they will sell it for that long. And to their credit, this was the one thing that bothered me the most, was that they would sit on the outside of the ring for that long and just let the 2 people in the ring do whatever their turn was to do, which kind of pissed me off. Like, that's not believable. One person would run back into the ring and double team, another guy. Like, it was stupid, but to the wrestlers' credit, and I'll get specific here. LAX, and Hager fought Wardlow and, FTR, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, one of the LAX guys, I don't remember which one, was laying on the outside of the ring, I'm not kidding, for probably like 10 minutes. And he was laying right next to me, so I was able to literally talk to him and be like, yo, get back in the ring, your partner's getting his ass kicked. And his response was, yo, give me a break, I got hit in the balls. So, and it's happened throughout the night where they would make excuses for why they're just laying on the outside of the ring. Anytime there was multiple people in a match, they'd be, oh no, bro, I got hit in the arm, I can't get up yet. Like, they would sell it. So, I just wanted to mention that because 1, it was funny to me, and 2, when I watch these matches, I always say, where are the other guys? Are they just laying on the outside of the ring? And the answer is yes, they are.
Wow.
But, to their credit, they do sell it. Another thing I'll say is the Cody match probably didn't have as much energy as the rest of the matches. I could say the worst match of the night was when the show went off the air and Julia Hart, is that her name? The
cheerleader.
That was not on TV, correct?
No, it was not.
She fought Statlander, and it was the worst match I've ever watched, ever. And not Statlander's fault. Julia Hart has a lot of work to do. A lot. And Statlander stinks too. But she carried that match.
Wow. God damn it.
Yeah.
Statlander is literally carrying the match. I'm not going to argue or even think maybe you are just exaggerating when you say it's the worst match you've ever seen.
Well, Julia Hart doesn't know how to throw a punch, and a lot of these wrestlers don't anymore. And literally when you're in the front row, I mean, you could just see how fake it is. It was brutal. The worst match of the night. That was the worst match of the night. I'm trying to think, like, maybe I can, like, say who got the biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
And I guess it would probably be, it would probably have to be Jericho, honestly.
Yeah.
He probably got the biggest pop, but close second would be Jungle Boy and, unfortunately, Orange Cassidy. I don't know. These fans, they like Jungle Boy and Orange Cassidy. I don't get it.
Now, did they seem to really like Jungle Boy, or did they like the fucking theme song?
The entrance, the theme song.
Yeah.
Because his match, who did I send you that he was fighting?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know you sent us a video,
Dean?
and you were saying, Jungle Boy. What's that?
Was it Sean Dean? I think it was.
Yeah, I think
Sean
that's
Dean.
the name of it. Yeah, I think you said Brian Cage struggled with like 5 or someone from Dark Order.
Yes.
And,
yes. Yeah.
I don't even know who Sean Dean is.
Exactly. And this guy and Jungle Boy, if I had to be like, if I had to be partial and not biased, I would say those two put on a decent match. However, you had Jungle Boy, who's supposed to be one of your top baby faces, and he's struggling with a scrub who we've never even heard of. Come
on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know if it was Sean Dean, but it was Angelico. No, that was Darby Allin. That was Darby Allin. Yeah, Jungle Boy fought Sean Dean, and then Darby Allin struggled with Angelico.
I mean, it is what. I mean, at least Angelico's known enough on the roster. I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen either him or Evans get a win, which sucks because I actually do enjoy Jack Evans as a performer. He looks like he needs to take a shower, but I enjoy watching him wrestle. Now, so like you sent us videos from the start, so from the looks of it, it seemed like they taped Dark Elevation, and then we went live for Dynamite, and then after that, it was the AEW Dark tapings. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I wasn't able to see the matches before Dynamite, because I was in the lobby, but peeking through, I could see, Matt Hardy was out there at some point for something. I mean, Matt Hardy probably came out 6 times during the whole night.
I guess that makes sense. And you did send us a video with him. I know he was cutting a promo on Christian. I can't remember if Christian Cage was in the ring.
So Christian Cage came out at the end of the night. Matt Hardy. It was the Jungle Boy Sean Dean match, I believe. Wait, who's? Man, I can't remember exactly who it was, but Christian came out to deal with Matt Hardy, and I'm not kidding. Christian showed his face probably for like 15 seconds. Came out, grabbed Matt Hardy, and they fought to the back. And that was all we saw Christian the entire night.
Wow.
So good for him for getting that payday.
Right. One question I have is, and it might be hard to judge, especially with it being after actual Dynamite, how was Christian's pop? I mean, did fans seem to give a shit?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I would say maybe 25% of the fans left at that point.
Right.
So the arena was still pretty full. But the thing was, like, it wasn't that big of a pop because I don't know that everybody really noticed because he came out and Matt Hardy was already on the, on the ramp at this point. So Christian came out, grabbed Matt Hardy, and the two of them scuffled right to the back. Like, he didn't sell to the crowd. Like, he didn't really do anything. So he didn't really get that big of a pop, but, for me, he did. But
I'm glad you did. That makes me happy.
Definitely. I popped for the OGs, I'll tell you that.
Right. And you sent us a video. You were very, very, very close to the Stinger himself.
Yeah. I haven't washed my hands since.
It did. So you did. I know you said he gave you the too sweet. Did he bump it against you or?
Yeah. He came around the ring after the show, and to his credit, he was the only person that did this. Darby Allin didn't even do it. He left.
Darn.
Darby Allin was wrestling in the match, and I kid you not, RV, there are people that think like us, because people were yelling during the match when Darby Allin was trying to, I guess, taunt the crowd in a good way, in a good guy way. There were people that were yelling like, "We only care about Sting." So
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're not the only ones that feel this way, and everybody, this entire match, was just yelling Stinger, Stinger, Stinger. Nobody cared what was going on in the ring when he was standing on the outside, and when he did a Stinger splash, that may have been one of the biggest pops of the night.
When Darby did it, or did Sting actually do one?
Sting did it. Darby didn't do it. Darby does this backwards fucking coffin thing.
Yeah.
Even when someone's against the turnbuckle, he still turns backwards. So,
right.
That wouldn't hurt me, honestly.
That's pretty awesome, though, man. When you sent us that video of Sting, I was like, "Shit, that is awesome! You are so close to the guy."
You know what? But it makes me feel good that he still cares enough to walk around the ring at the end of the show. And maybe they told him to do it, maybe they didn't, but I feel like they didn't, and I feel like he still cares about the fans and walking around. And I held up the too sweet. He gave it to me. I recorded it, and it made the whole night worth it.
Right. That's awesome. That main event, honestly, so if I'm being honest, I really enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it more knowing that you were in the front row and we'd have this, but it was a good fucking show at Dynamite. How was that tag team title match main event in person? Was it pretty
Very
good?
It
came out pretty good on TV.
Tremendous. So there was a lot of laying outside the ring in that match too. What you just told me. Yeah, the Bucks were guilty of that a lot, but they were selling it. Like I said, they were selling it. But they would just lay there, and like you could see them glancing up from time to time to see, when their turn was coming. But funny story, the thumbtacks came out from Eddie Kingston, and one of the Bucks threw the thumbtacks across the ring. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
And it actually hit a little kid in the front row.
Oh shit!
And you can see, I don't know if you could see it on camera, but him and his father immediately left. So we may have a lawsuit on our hands.
Oh wow! Goddamn.
Yeah, they immediately walked out. But the match itself, I am not fans of the Bucks, as you know.
True.
But that match, it was good. I can't hate on it. It was good. It was good in person. I don't know if I would have liked it on TV, but it was good in person.
I did enjoy it a lot on TV. It's the one thing I will say about that match is like, I go into the show, I'm like, yeah, of course, this sucks. Pentagon's probably going to steal the show, which I felt he did.
Crowd loves him, by the way. Crowd loves
What's
Penta. That? The crowd loves Penta.
I wish AEW's booking loved him as much as I do, and apparently that crowd. But there were honest times during that match, man. I honestly felt like, holy shit, they might actually fucking pull the trigger. And
the time, so did I almost tripped. So did everyone else, except until the Good Brothers came out, and that ruined the fucking match.
Right.
And I'm so sick of them. And if I could fucking real quick touch on them, they are clowns. They're clowns, and I like them. Yeah. When they signed with Impact just recently, I was happy and I liked them. They showed their true colors. They're clowns. They're goofballs who just want to be funny like everyone else. And if you go on Twitter right now, I know you're banned or whatever, but if you look at Gallows' tweets, it makes sense why WWE made him Festus. It makes a lot of sense.
Does it?
Because he's a goofball. And he can play a fucking idiot. He just wants to be funny. He's not he's not Kevin Nash. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And I want him to be.
Right. I mean, they should be booked as fucking badasses.
Right. They should be booked like Nash and Hall.
Dude. What's that?
They should be booked like Nash and Hall.
Right. And, for some reason, the AEW CW dude feels like Luke Gallows is World Heavyweight Championship material, which get the fuck out of here. I think Anderson's the more talented of the two anyways, but regardless, they're just being booked like fucking clowns. And apparently they are.
Bozos. And now Impact wants to just randomly throw them back into the title match? Like, for
right.
What? How in the world do they earn a title shot? They lose every week, and they're goofballs. Like, Gallows just tweeted, Carl's gonna win what the fuck ever you call it, the IWG, whatever. And he's like, and I'm gonna swing my balls all around. Like, you're hilarious, dude. You're so.
Oh man, woo! That's a zinger.
Hilarious.
That's a zinger there, Fest.
It makes sense now why he was Fest. It makes complete sense because Vince knew. He knew.
The guy's just a fucking moron.
Yeah, I really think he knew.
When Kazarian came out, I thought, like, okay, Kaz is going to fucking come out here and maybe Kaz is going to, because he does it every week, he's going to take out the Good Brothers and then maybe, Penta or Eddie are going to do something because they are really fucking high on Eddie Kingston in AEW. Like, maybe they'll actually switch this over. So I was getting excited. It was awesome on TV, too, to be honest with you. It was really entertaining. So you also, and one thing that you saw that was crazy, because this stuff doesn't happen anymore thanks to the internet and 90-day compete clauses, but the other big, huge news story was somehow WWE fucked up, and when they bumped Aleister Black, formerly Tommy End, over to like the main roster or whatever, they forgot to change stuff in his contract that if he gets released or leaves, he doesn't have the 90-day clause, he only has a 30-day clause. So this is like the only time that you're going to see something kind of similar again, probably, to what we used to see in the 90s, where, someone randomly shows up on WWF or WCW that we're not expecting, So he made a huge debut, attacked Arn Anderson, that untrustworthy son of a bitch, and then took out Cody. And, I mean, this is a dude people are really fucking high on, man. I know you said you couldn't see who he was at the time, but
the crowd was popping. Yeah, the crowd was definitely popping. They knew who it was. My personal view, I couldn't tell because I was at the angle where his back was turned to me. So everyone in the arena knew who it was except me. And they definitely popped. And my only gripe is that Cody was involved. But
right. Because what is it? Have you seen much of? So basically, the commentators, they go, "Oh my God, that's Tommy End," and then Excalibur's like, "That is Tommy End, but this is not Tommy End. I know who this is. This is Malachi Black." So, have you seen much of Aleister Black's wrestling? Because I haven't.
No.
But I hear I've been hearing for years, like, how awesome this guy is and how he needed to be a bigger push, and WWE fucked up letting him go.
I say same. I've heard the same thing, but my thing is maybe WWE knows something we don't. I don't know, but I could be wrong.
And I mean, WWE throughout the years has really dropped the ball with a ton of people that should have been pushed better, and a lot of the times these guys go out and show why that's been correct. So, we'll see. The Andrade against Matt Sydal. I've never seen Andrade perform. I was actually very, very impressed with the guy. How'd that come off?
Oh, so I loved his match. I don't like that he had a struggle, but then again, Matt Sydal is a decent name in wrestling, right. So it's okay. But Andrade's a showman. He knows how to play to the crowd, which I appreciated, and I didn't have any expectations about him coming into the match. But he paid tribute to Eddie a couple times, I guess because Vicky's, his manager. But he did a couple things, the slap on the chest 2 times that Eddie used to do. But then my issue was, you're going to play to the crowd like Eddie, we're going to start cheering for you. And then after the match, I realized, wait, this guy's a heel. Why are we cheering for him? So that kind of didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, this was the first time I've seen him, and I do think he was a showman, but I'll be honest, man, like, his moves and the stuff he did, it was extremely impressive to me. Like, there wasn't flaws. It wasn't a guy that was botching. You see some sloppy shit on AEW pretty much weekly. He seemed like a very, very polished professional wrestler.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
I agree. He put on a nice match.
What's that?
Yeah, he put on a good match. I agree.
Like, honestly, you went to a pretty damn good show. From what we saw on TV, it was fucking good. The last thing I want to ask you about, which was, I've been fucking dying to, and more news has came out today. So, we had the Jericho and MJF, what was it, the contract signing, the talking shit back and forth. You sent us a video of, when the cameras, MJF comes out, they go to commercial break. When it comes back on, Judas hits, out comes Jericho. But you sent us a video of MJF kind of shit-talking the crowd beforehand, so that didn't air on TV, which was cool. But, so Jericho comes out, he gets in the ring, and this is how we see it on TV. We hear MJF going, cut it, cut it, cut it, and then you see a fucking bald head, and the security grab this guy, and we notice that there's a fan trying to come in. Jericho comes over and swings on. I don't know if he connected or not. And we're going to talk about this dumb fuck fan here in a minute, but what the fuck, man? I'm jealous you got to see this happen.
It brought back memories of, I live in Miami, so I once went to a Miami Marlins game, and there was a massive fight in the game. And I was so happy I was there for that. So it brought back shades of that for me. But, yeah, this guy, nobody knew what was real and what wasn't at this point because there was, I can't remember which match it was, but it was very early on in the show. It might have been the Cody Rhodes match. The lights went out in that match.
Yeah.
For about 1 to 2 seconds, and we thought something was going on. It was a fuck up. The lights just went out. Nothing happened. Was that on TV?
It was, because it's live, so it went out. We all saw it. And I don't know if they were they may have been doing that to tease Malachi Black, fucking with Cody and Arn.
Okay, that makes sense now looking back. But at the time, nobody, we all thought it was just a fuck up. So when that guy jumped over the rail, I thought it was part of the show. And until, I'm in the front row, so there's security guards sitting directly next to me. And I'm not kidding, he pushed my friend out of the way. My friend was on the end. He pushed him out of the way, jumped over the rail, and helped double team, with the other security guards. So it was clearly not part of the show. And Jericho's punches, I'll just say this guy should not be starting any fights in public because his punches were probably not as good as they used to be.
Yeah, but, did he connect?
I think he did, but they weren't not legitimate punches.
Right. I mean, you could tell Jericho swung on the guy.
Didn't knock the guy out. I mean, that's for sure. It took two security guards after that just to get the guy to the floor. Right.
And, it's so basically you see Jericho swing, and I've seen the video full on, because basically TNT, they cut to the fucking crowd the second Jericho throws that punch.
Right, they always, they do.
Yeah. It's I don't know if
Crazy
Jericho
is,
connected
I was
with him or not.
I was actually recording when that happened. So I have it on my phone. And then I thought I should have kept recording and I didn't, but I actually have the beginning of him jumping the rail on my phone.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. I have right when he jumped and then I pushed pause like an idiot. I didn't know.
I kept hoping, as soon as I saw that, I was please tell me Goldberg's fucking sending us a video of this fan hopping it.
Yeah, I got it right here. I'm gonna send it to you.
I have seen videos on Twitter, from fan cams with the guy jumping, and I still couldn't tell if Jericho connected or not. But here's the best part that I want to know, because Larkin is...
Oh, man. Wait, I actually have more than I thought. I got about 5 seconds of it. I'm going to send it to you.
So, here's the best part here. So this fan, who his Twitter handle is at motherfucking Mark, MUUFUHKINMARK. So his tweets from Fat Bastard is at Jim Cornette at Great Brian Last. How did you like my AEW debut? I did this for all of us real wrestling fans. Wrestling is no longer a safe space for friends to dance around and play dress up. Reality can hit at any time. Do they think it is going to be the fucking playtime forever? So this idiot literally did it to try and impress Jim Cornette. Oh my God. And so he gets a response from, let me see here. Jericho, or let's see, where's Brian Last? So Cornette's co-host replied to the guy and said, real wrestling fans don't jump the rail. You should be embarrassed. You are blocked. So he gets blocked by one of the two people he's trying to impress. Jericho comments and said, do you really think Jim Cornette would condone this, you fucking loser? Jimmy would have shoved a tennis racket up your ass and smashed your car windows. And then the Cornette, the main guy he's trying to impress, says, got news for you, dipshit. The ring is sacred ground for us. And even if you and a lot of others think you can kick the shit out of the Young Bucks, I would have turned you into a tennis racket popsicle, and you're lucky someone there didn't get you like a fish, and you're blocked. So this guy, the best part too is he jumps it during Jericho and MJF. These aren't the guys that Cornette is consistently frustrated with the business. These are two guys that aren't doing all these flippy floppy shit that the Young Bucks do and everything that drives Cornette crazy.
Right.
He goes for probably the two more, legitimate, actual, can make it look like it's a real fight type of wrestling. And then, he gets him, fucking handled by security, gets punched in the face by Chris Jericho, then goes to fucking brag about it on Twitter to impress Cornette and his co-host, and they both shit on the fucking retard and block him.
He's got to be he's got to be retarded.
He's got to be somewhat slow, man.
Got to be. Which most wrestling fans nowadays are, to be fair.
Yeah. Sadly.
Yeah, sadly. Not what it used to look like in a WCW Nitro crowd.
Right. And we've all seen Kevin Nash and Scott Hall stomp a fan on their,
I will tell you,
top of their head.
I was there, and I can tell you, not only was that crowd 90% dudes, but it is not cool dudes. And I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the coolest guy on the planet, but I feel like I'm normal, and a lot of those people weren't.
Are you talking about the AEW crowd?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm not surprised. But I guess the good thing was there was a crowd.
Yeah, definitely crowd. That place was sold out. I'll tell you
Which
that
is
right
awesome.
now. That place was, every seat was taken in that place, to their credit.
That's good.
Sure.
I guess the last question I have for you, I mean, you're Mr. Negative towards AEW. Has your opinion on them changed at all? I know you enjoyed yourself, but I mean...
You know what it is, though? I knew I would enjoy myself. I knew they would put on a great live show because I went to WrestleCon 3 years ago in Orlando, and that was before AEW was around, and these dudes were all there. The Bucks were there. Not Omega, but, Brian Cage was there. Like, most of these indie guys at the time were there, and it was the best time I've ever had. Drew McIntyre was there at the time. He was I guess he was maybe with Impact at the time.
Yeah, probably.
And they just put on a hell of a show. Like, a live show to me is different than sitting on your couch and watching every week storyline. So, my thoughts on them in general probably changed for one night, and now when I watch it on TV next week, it's probably going to go back to the way it was.
That's kind of what I expected, but, you never know. There's some shit, you go to a concert, there's a band that you might not be that big into, but, you see, like, for me, I went to, it was Project Revolution years ago, and I was, for me, Linkin Park was kind of lame, but then I saw them live and realized how fucking amazingly talented Chester Bennington was.
Sure. But you know what the thing is, and that you bring up a good point, because the thing to me is, I don't dislike these guys. I don't dislike the wrestlers they have. And I like Hangman Page a lot. I don't like the way they've been booked. That's all. Like, I have nothing against the wrestlers as individuals. I think they've just been booked horrendously, and it's made me dislike them.
Right. Which I understand that, and it's like WWE, like, they have an extreme amount of talent. I hate this, I hate the writing, I hate the entire thing about WWE, but it's not the talent's fault.
I think AEW has more talent than WWE right now.
It's probably pretty damn close.
I think they're loaded. And if they are properly, I would come on this show every week and give them, like, mad props. Like, I want to like the show. I really want to. But overall, yes, I'm going to say straight up, I enjoyed my time. It was fun. And they put on a great live show.
That's awesome. And I'm glad you had a great time, man. That's super awesome. Saw you on TV a ton. One thing I just remembered, because it's crazy to me, because they have the Dan Lambert promo. Lance Archer comes out. He's putting over the UFC fight with Poirier against McGregor, but you also see Jorge Masvidal and Amanda Nunes, the fucking greatest women's fighter of all time.
Right.
They're the whole show, Goldberg?
No. So, what I was expecting when that segment happened was I thought Masvidal was going to hop the fence and get in Lance Archer's face. So I was recording this entire time, and I recorded Masvidal just sitting his ass there while it happened. And smiling. He didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know how to play his role. So he was just smirking the whole time. And then they helped, him and Amanda Nunes helped Lambert to the back, and they were never to be seen again.
And you told me they were literally only there just for that segment, right?
Yeah, they would have been noticed had they been there the whole time. They were brought in, they got moved into the first row, second row actually, and then they were put on camera. The second happened, they helped Lambert to the back, and that was it. They did not return to the crowd.
Right. It's just kind of funny that they were just there for that one segment and left.
Well, and that they weren't even a part of it. Like, it was just literally to put them on camera as being in the crowd.
Right. And it was, because I'm thinking, like, this is cool. Masvidal and Amanda Nunes enjoy pro wrestling. They're here at AEW. That's cool.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting much from them, but Dan Lambert had a hell of a promo. He said a lot of the things that you and I fucking will reiterate on this show, and same with the AEW CW dude and Hurls as well. But Lambert is a big-time wrestling fan. Obviously, we knew he had stuff in Impact. And watching that WWE Hidden Treasures thing, I learned Dan Lambert is the biggest collector in the entire world of pro wrestling championship belts, like the real ones.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, long-time fan, it was pretty cool. But let's see, is that...
Very cool that he wants to continually be involved in wrestling. Yes. Yeah, I think that's really cool. And I'll say one more thing, and then we can wrap it up. To me, I knock AEW, and more recently, I'm knocking Impact because I don't like their booking either, and I think they've just only been focused on Omega and the main event, and they've just let the exterior angles. There are no exterior angles, and now they're just throwing together random matches for their biggest pay-per-view of the year, which I don't like. But at the end of the day, going to a show in person, I'll always be down for it, and I'll always want to see wrestling live in person. And to me, there's nothing like it. So I talk a lot of shit. I'll never watch wrestling again. But at the end of the day, I will always, when they come to my town, I will be there.
Absolutely, man. Love it. And we should wrap it up, but we did promise Hurls, our buddy, that he would live in spirit with us here.
Sure.
So Hurls always has his Hurls' hot street corner take that he does on the show, and he hasn't been with us in a few weeks. So Hurls wanted us to ask who our top 5 technical wrestlers of today are.
Shit.
Let me read Hurls', unless you wanted to go for it. I'll at least read what Hurls told us.
No. By all means, go ahead.
All right. So Hurls, he put number 1, Daniel Bryan. Number 2, Zack Sabre Jr. 3, Josh Alexander. 4, Charlotte Flair. 5, Bobby Fish. And his honorable mentions went to Deonna Purrazzo, Nick Aldis, and Pete Dunne, or Dunn. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know much about him.
Who the fuck is Bobby Fish?
Remember Red Dragon and Ring of Honor? Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. They're both in NXT now.
No.
Okay. I believe they're in the like ROH stable. It basically may as well. It's like it's those two, Adam Cole and Roderick Strong, I believe.
Okay. This is a tough question.
I know, which is actually, it's going to lead to my spin-off question, which I actually think is a little bit better. Dude, if you'd asked me this fucking 15, 20 years ago,
Chris Benoit
would have been a really hard question to answer for a good reason. Now it's a very tough question to answer for a bad reason. I put at number 5, I've got Kyle O'Reilly. At 4, Roderick Strong. At 3, Kenny Omega, and I don't even know that I consider him a technical wrestler. And then I have a tie at the top. I would say Bryan Danielson, Daniel Bryan, and Davey Richards.
Yeah, I got a couple. I got a few of the same there. If we were talking about all time, though, I would have an easy top 3 of Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit, and Dean Malenko. Those would be my top 3.
I'd say Bret Hart, Kurt Angle, Kurt Hennig, Chris Benoit.
Kurt Hennig,
my top 4.
Yeah. It's tough to think of these on the fly, to be fair.
It is.
So, I'd have to go with, I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna go number 1 first. And for me, I guess he's older now, but probably go AJ Styles. Number 2, I'll probably go Daniel Bryan. 3, I like Josh Alexander as well.
I do too.
So I'll go with him, and then the other 2. Wait, you mentioned a couple that I definitely should have in there. Who'd you say?
Probably Davey Richards.
Yes, Davey Richards would be one of them, and what was the other one?
Let's see. I had Davey Richards, Bryan Danielson, Omega, Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong.
Wow.
It's a fucking tough one, man, which is going to lead me to my goddamn spin-off question, which I think is a little bit better.
What?
Is technical wrestling a lost, dying art?
Without a doubt. There's no question.
Like I said, man,
it's all flying now. It's all everybody over the top ropes. There's no technical wrestling anymore.
There's like the strong style shit. There's the brawlers, but it's mainly fucking flippy floppy, high flying young bucks kind of a style. You know, like I can't consider shit like Cody Rhodes or I know Hurls said Nick Aldis. I don't consider Nick Aldis a technical wrestler.
He's not, but I actually like Nick Aldis, but I don't.
I love
technical
Aldis.
Wrestler. Yeah,
I think he's great. I think he is a fantastic world champ for the NWA. I think he deserves to be in a bigger platform, and always have. But it's just...
Well, I always was a fan of him because I once read an interview that Sting said that he believed Nick Aldis would, at the time he was Magnus, was the next big thing in wrestling. So if it's good enough for Sting, it's good enough for me.
And he could be. You know what I mean, man? He could be a big deal.
He's got the look.
He's
got the ability, and he could talk. So what else do you need?
But
and he can have Mickey James by his side.
Exactly. Like fucking A, brother. Like years ago, Dean Malenko, I think is one of the greatest technical wrestlers ever, and I don't even know he's top 5 all time with me. And I love Malenko. Like it used to be so fucking good, and now it's like it's a dying art. Like Hurls asked this question, it's like, who the fuck is a technical wrestler these days?
I had trouble. I saw him ask the question. I had trouble immediately. When you know right away you can't think of one person immediately, you know it's a lost art. And I couldn't think of one guy off the top of my head that I would say, okay, he's the best technical wrestler going right now. I couldn't.
Right. Like literally, dude, my list, honestly.
Zack Sabre? Do I know who he is? Yeah. Have I ever watched a match? No.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I could have said Davey Richards and Daniel Bryan and cut it off and said, I don't really know after that because, one, I don't think there's anyone that great, and it's such a dying form. Like, technical wrestling is dead.
You know when it died, TNA had the last good run of it. And here's a name that was solid. Douglas Williams was a good technical wrestler.
Oh, he was great. Very underrated guy.
That's a good technical wrestler. They had... If we go back and look at TNA's roster back then, we could probably reel off 10 or 15 of them. That's probably when the last of them, went out.
Right. And if you look at that roster, man, like the TNA 2006 through, I want to say 12, look at what that roster has moved on to be. And that was that rivals up there with like the WWF in the 80s, the WCW in the 90s.
I agree.
With talent-wise, man. And that was the last fucking, really big, huge collection of talent. And you look at AEW now, and they have that potential. They've just got to learn to put it together.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. 100.
All right. Well, shit, man. Do we got anything else to add?
No, I was trying to think of maybe one more technical wrestler, but can't do it.
It's fucking tough, brother. It is, man.
I can't.
I would probably put Josh Alexander as an honorable mention, but to see, and I enjoy his wrestling. I don't like his look.
Done enough, probably. He just hasn't done enough in the business to be known, I guess, as a technical wrestler. One thing I'm going to tell you before we end the show, I'm going to give one shout out because I go on YouTube, and I'm sure it's the same for you. They recommend wrestling videos to you on YouTube. What's the Scottish wrestling company? I forget the name of it now.
ICW or
IW something CC. I don't remember. Okay, but I have a whole newfound respect for Grado. So, did you ever see when Grado won that title and beat Drew McIntyre?
I did not.
Mick Foley is a special guest.
Nothing involved Grado?
You gotta turn this on, and you will have a newfound respect for this guy when he's not just a comedian.
Right.
This guy put on an unbelievable show, and it was recommended to me. I don't know why it got on my recommended, and I watched it, and I couldn't believe it was the biggest crowd pop I've seen in 10 years. So I just wanted to mention that.
We had a guy who's no longer gets along with us that loved that company and would tell us, how great things Grado was and shit like that. Not me, but I couldn't stand Grado because of what I saw in Impact.
Well, TNA made him a joke.
Loves him for some reason, but
yeah, TNA made him a joke, or Impact, whatever, made him a joke.
Right.
But he is well over with his home crowd.
It's crazy. I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. I don't know that I will ever take you up on that because I just hate Grado so much. I don't hate the guy, for fuck's sake. I want to take that word hate back. Like, it's pro wrestling. I don't hate the guy. I don't think he's a bad human being by any means.
You just have no interest in him.
Right.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fine.
But maybe one day I will take, I took you up on the XWF, I don't know.
Telling you, one day, me, you, and Penzer, we're going to be on here reviewing that.
That sounds good to me, man. All right, Goldberg, anything else to wrap up here on the end of the show, man?
No, thank you. It was fun, and yeah, thanks for hearing my side of what I saw in person, and it was fun. I had a good time, and I had a good time on this show.
Absolutely, man. Me too. I appreciate it. I've been literally excited and wanting to hear everything since, what was it, Tuesday night? You told us you were going. I was like, man, this is going to be fucking awesome on the show to hear. And
yeah, we gotta. So I want all of it. My hope is that all of us can go to the next WrestleCon. I think that would be really fun if we could all meet up and go to a wrestling event together. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, I do too. It's something we've all talked about. I mean, who knows with my new job what my time off stuff is going to look like? But dude, I've been dying to. I've been dying to meet up with these guys for fucking 5 years now, as it is. And now we got you in the mix, and it would be awesome.
It would be a lot of fun. We'll make it happen.
No doubt, man. So, all right. Well, thank you, Dinesh, and maybe the other couple of listeners we might get for sticking with us.
If you're listening, give us a comment. Please comment in the video down below, and let us know you're watching other than Dinesh. But we love you, Dinesh. You comment as well, too.
Dinesh, you say as much as you fucking want. Get as cocky as you want to, brother. Tell your friends, though. Granted, if you're listening to the Heelcast, you probably don't have a lot of friends. That's no disrespect to you. We'll take you in, but all right, man. This is RVE with Goldberg signing out on behalf of the Heelcast. We're going to hit you with our Slammiversary predictions next week because Lord knows, even if we don't have time, Hurls will die before he will let Slammiversary predictions not go on the air. So, Heelcast out. Have a great week, everyone.